ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಹುಡುಕಿದೆ ಇಲ್ಲದ ದೇವರ ಕಲ್ಲು ಮಣ್ಣುಗಳ ಗುಡಿಯೊಳಗೆ. ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಹುಡುಕಿದೆ ಇಲ್ಲದ ದೇವರ ಕಲ್ಲು ಮಣ್ಣುಗಳ ಗುಡಿಯೊಳಗೆ. ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಇರುವ ಪ್ರೀತಿ ಸ್ನೇಹಗಳ, ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಇರುವ ಪ್ರೀತಿ ಸ್ನೇಹಗಳ ಗುರುತಿಸದಾದೆನು ನಮ್ಮೊಳಗೆ.
Sir, Center for Economic Studies and Planning, Member, State Planning Commission, Government of Karnataka, former Director, Institute for Social and Economic Change, ISEC. I welcome you on behalf of ICSSR Southern Regional Center and Department of Sociology, Karnataka State Open University, sir. It's a great pleasure and honor to welcome our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Sharanappa V. Halse, sir, to this valedictory function. He is a great support for all of us, for all the academic endeavors. I welcome you on behalf of ICSSR Southern Regional Center and Karnataka State Open University Sociology Department, sir. I'm delighted to welcome Dr. K.L.N. Murthy, sir, Registrar, Karnataka State Open University, Mysore. Because of his encouragement, it is possible for us to reach this valedictory function today of this FDP. Thank you very much for being with us, sir. Now I welcome Professor Ramanatham Naidu, sir, Dean, Study Center, Karnataka State Open University, for being with us here. Welcome, sir. Professor N. Lakshmi, Dean Academic, and Professor K.B. Praveena, Registrar Evaluation, sir, and due to various reasons they are not able to attend to this function. On their absence, I would like to extend a warm welcome for them. Now I would like to welcome the organizer of this faculty development program, Dr. Santosh Naik R, Director of this faculty development program, Chairman, Department of Sociology, KSOU. Welcome, sir. I welcome all the resource persons who made this faculty development program fruitful, and also the participants who are the center of this program. I welcome all the teaching and non-teaching staff of Department of Sociology and Karnataka State Open University. I also welcome the media persons who are present here. Welcome one and all. Thank you so much for being with us on this Sunday, and also I would like to extend a warm welcome once again to everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, and welcome to you too.
Respected dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, and FDP participants, very good morning to you all. आप सभी का कर्नाटक की प्राचीन राजधानी मैसूर में स्वागत है. First of all, I would like to thank FDP Director Professor Santosh Naik sir, who gave me this great opportunity. It is great pleasure to introduce such a noble personality, Professor Madhva S. sir, as our chief guest today in valedictory program of ICSSR and Department of Studies and Society FDP program. Dr. S. Madheswaran is an acclaimed development economist and econometrician of this country. At present, he is a professor, head, Center for Economic Studies and Policy, Institute for Social and Economic Change, Bangalore. He worked as a director, Institute for Social and Economic Change, Bangalore, which is one of the premier institutes of Indian Council of Social Science Research. He was on deputation as an advisor to the planning program, monitoring and statistics department, Government of Karnataka, and also he is an instrumental to write an evaluation and monitoring policy 2010 for the state of Karnataka. He was the chief evaluation officer and one of the founding members of Karnataka Evaluation Authority. Professor S. Madheswaran has given wide-ranging opinion on various new policy, schemes and program, formulation, cabinet notes, etc. of Government of Karnataka. He has participated on the matters related to the policies on strengthening and the state's a statistical system and has done capacity building of all the departments on this subject under the KSSP and the 13th Finance Commission grants. Apart from these, he has served as a member of many important committees, both in central and state government. As an eminent researcher, he has published almost 120 research papers in the well-reputed international and national journals on various issues relating to economics and education, economics of labor, health economics, environmental economics, public policy, and applied econometrics. He is one of the popular teachers of the institute and has been engaged in teaching applied econometrics to the postgraduate and PhD students for the past 20 years. He has been coordinating many training programs on applied econometrics for the probationary officers of Indian Economic Service Officers and Indian Statistical Service Officers of Government of India, sponsored by MOSPI, Government of India. He was also a recipient of Kempe Gowda Award, Government of Karnataka, for his excellence in policy making using economics and statistics. He also conferred as a fellow by Sandy South Asian Network for Development and Environmental Economics in April 2007. He is also conferred as a fellow by IJA International Labour Studies Institute, University of Bonn, Germany, till March 2019. He was a visiting scholar at Princeton University, USA. He is a visiting professor to International Research Institute of Sociology and Economics of Education, University of Dijon, France. He has visited almost 25 countries for the academic activities such as presenting papers, teaching, visiting professor, collaborative projects, etc. मैं आपका हार्दिक दिल से स्वागत करता हूं सर.
Thank you, Rajkishore sir. Thank you, Madheshwaran sir. It's a great honor that we have you here today. May I now request the chief guest to address the gathering.
The imparting excellence and the quality. So imparting excellence and the quality basically needs a lot of faculty development program. And at the outset, I congratulate the Vice Chancellor, Registrar, and the Director, Santosh and Hamlada, who has taken a lot of effort to conduct this faculty development program. And also their teachers from various colleges and the universities who are gathered here. Of course, when you teach, you have to ask students that how you are teaching. But when you are sitting as a student, then you have to evaluate yourself that what kind of a patience you have. Because you have been teaching right from the morning till evening, and what patience that the student must be having and what patience you have. This or vice versa. And of course, you are all in the middle age, I could see. That's what they call it as, Santosh called it as young faculty. I think he is using demography here. There is a age limit in Government of India. Youth policy, youth is 15 to 29. After that, there is an adult, then young old. Myself and Vice Chancellor is young old. And then the old after 70. So Santosh calling all of you as a young faculty. Is it okay, madam? Okay. That is according to your height, you are just an exception. I said, okay, fine. Thank you very much. So that's what he calls you as a young faculty in social science. Of course, social science in the sense that I could guess that there is a heterogeneous of people who comes from sociology, political science, anthropology, or even from the development studies and economics, and so on and so forth. You know very clearly, which I want to, because this is a valedictory function, and Jacob specifically from ICSR told me, sir, kindly motivate all these young colleagues so that they will go with a lot of fillip, and it is as good as the India one in the cricket match, you get a flip and go and celebrate like that. So today that I wanted to make you celebrate, go back and celebrate, and what you have to carry. Because conducting FDP program is one. And of course, when I was talking to Vice Chancellor, I could make out that they want the quality, not the quantity. So when we conduct this program, what you carry for your own teaching, that is very important. And when I was talking to Jacob in ICSR, he told me that, so most of the research methodology was important, the kind of a skill. First of all, my dear sister and brothers, you are in the same teaching community. Teaching is the noble profession. Of course, anybody can become scientist or IAS and IPS. But the thing is that the teaching profession, you are a teacher, wherever you go, the kind of respect you have than the IAS and IPS. So your own student becomes IAS, the moment you enter, the kind of a respect you receive is a little different. That's what I always say, is that creating a good student is equivalent to writing a book. So anyhow, the way in which the orientation in which that you teach the social science is very important. Say, I'll take many examples, since you have studied a lot of research methodology, and this most of the time in India there is a phobia among the social scientists to get into too much of research methodology and to do research and kind of further for your own career and also to teach the student. Of course, as he said, I could see there are a lot of middle and adult young faculty sitting here. It is not that all the time that whatever you have learned over the period of time, a lot of development in the literature has come in. So it is a time to learn the new development in the literature. Say, for example, that don't feel that you are teaching social science. Some of the teachers, they feel, some of the students also, they ask that, it's an economics, sociology. I say, look, sociology, economics, you do well, and you will be noted in India. So everybody will do BA, everybody will complete MA, everybody will complete PhD. But the thing is that how distinct you are compared to others, that will take you somewhere. That is what, in our institute, of course, I used to conduct this program called Social Science Talent Program. I'll discuss with you that, sometime we can have a tie-up that social science talent search with ISAC. So right from the +2, that we select some 50 students, give some fellowship, and orientation, like faculty development program, orientation program we give in such a way that there are many students gone to US, many students gone to good placement, and right from +2 level, we motivate them how to come up in the life in social science. That's what I used to say, when you go to America and Europe, compared to medical doctor, the social scientists, they earn well. And compared to doctor, other professional engineering degree, the social scientists, they earn well and they have more respect because the social scientists are more close to the government. Because any government needs a multidisciplinary approach from economics, political science, and the sociology. If you take any example, let's say social security for the unorganized sector worker. So we need quite a lot of sociologists, political scientists, economists together to look at that problem. It is not that the watertight compartment, only the economists can go for a planning and such a way that. So what I'm saying is that when you study research methodology, many social scientists, if you go to America, if you look at the American Journal of Sociology, American Journal of Political Science, even American Economic Review, these are all the big journals, well-rated journals. There are a lot of journals now else with science. I'll come back to that publication because publication, sometimes you give 3,000 rupees they publish. And in India, they will say International Education Development Journal, they'll say. It's all false journal. They call it as only international. Then they will ask you 4,000 rupees. But the thing is that, what is the Scopus Index? That kind of a journal. There's a big journals in every subject. If you look at it, most of the sociologists and political scientists are better than mathematicians and statisticians. So what they need now for the student and also for you, it is not that as a faculty sitting here, tomorrow when you know your proper research methodology, you will be able to complete some of the projects apart from teaching. That project will attract, the outcome of the project will attract the eyes of the government, so that you will be called, so that your quality will increase. When your quality increase and also your students' quality increase. So in a way, nowadays the new trend is evidence-based policy making. So what is evidence-based policy making? In the sense that simply everybody thinks that there is a data, number. Don't think that there is a number, the GDP. GDP is 2,500 crore or something else. It is not a number. Each number has a life. Each number has a transparency. Each number has accountability. Each number has a governance. I want to tell you a very simple way of, anything look at evidence-based policy making. Let me put an example, then I will come back to the subject so that you'll be motivated. The first example is that the evidence-based policy making. And this is connected to your research methodology. So, 2010, I was an economic advisor of the state, and there was a cabinet note by the Principal Secretary of Health. And he was asking that he has spent so much of money on health of Karnataka, and he was asking some moratorium not to build any PSC and the community health center and sub-center. This is the cabinet note, it's coming. Of course, the file has come to me. I looked at, as a social scientist, I gone as a deputation, I had to do something for the society. You, the social scientist, will have indirect blessings of the people when you write, when you do something. That's what I'm going to give this example. And also this example, you will learn that how do you do evidence policy making, even without doing a great econometric modeling and so on and so forth. That is next step. Then he has written this cabinet note. When I was looking at this, okay, there is an existing, I asked the health department, that time 176 taluk, now it has been increased. That is way back in Professor Nanjundapa's committee report in Karnataka about the regional imbalance that you must have seen. Nanjundapavarthi is a very important one. And when I asked the health department, give me the existing primary health center, sub-center, and the community health center. He has given 176, within 10 minutes, the file has come, the Excel file. I looked at that, I asked the Directorate of Economics and Statistics, so what is the projected population for each taluk? So now there is a norms for 50,000 population, one primary health center should be there. For 30,000 AC/ST concentration area, one PHC should be there. In hilly area, there is a norms and standards even to introduce the school and colleges and the many public institutions. So that is fourth five-year plan. Then the way back, Mrs. Indira Gandhi's time. Still we are working on the same norms and standard, which we have not changed it, even though we are increasing the population. We are the root cause to increase the population. So though the same standard and norms. So now I just tell you the number. How do you do that? So given the norm and given the population, you can calculate what could be the required primary health center, what could be the required community health center or sub-center. So now it is very easy in simple Excel, you drag on, and given the norms, given the population, how much PHC should be there in that particular taluk. Now the existing PHC the health department has given. Just simply subtract it. You found required, you found existing. Existing minus required, anything comes in, some taluk plus will come, some taluk minus will come. So plus means there is a surplus. The surplus of PHC, that particular taluk. If something, the resultant number is negative, means there is a deficit. Then when I looked at the final round and look at the taluk this side, I found it some mind-blowing, as usual our Nanjundappa sir President, the great economist Ranjana sir has told, I could see in almost around in 9 districts of North Karnataka, and the whole lot of the deficit was mushroomed. And the whole surplus is near about 780. But the cabinet note is saying, on an average, we have a surplus. The secretary was writing, on an average, we have a surplus. So in the sense that sometimes, what we teach, the simple arithmetic mean to the student, it misleads. So anytime in the public policy, although simple average, it misleads. Average, some dull students will be there, bright students, you average everybody. So that's what average means, you are averaging all the heterogeneity in the population. So always when you go to public policy, this average misleads. That's what the first lesson. And what you have to do is that I just looked at the surplus is mushroomed in the South Karnataka. Okay? Now the story is, the big story I have written, it is not a simple cabinet note comes means in the government, by looking at that, okay, anumadisabodu, okay, ಪರಿಶೀಲನೆ ಮಾಡಿ, ಅಷ್ಟೇ. Then, particularly, then I put out the whole analysis as an academician, as an advisor to the state, and I put the evidence-based, I call it as evidence-based policy making. Look at, on an average, it looks PHC is more. And he's asking, stop building a PHC. But, if you look at disaggregate level information, any public policy, when you do research, you have to do disaggregate level information. When you look at taluk level, on an average it is surplus. Plus minus, something whole lot of plus is there, it will become plus. Okay, that's what it happens. So we take a policy, we just throw money. You will not get the outcome. So simply I'll come back to the ACSP, TSP. That's what, your research, how you learn the research, that should go to the policy, it should touch the people. Now, from this example, what you know from Karnataka is that already there is a regional imbalance, there is a regional inequality. That time 371J has not come. Because 371J, the whole background material, 1,200 page, 6 months written by me and the IAS officer, Sanjeev Kumar. And we have produced Patil sir was a chairman for that. Under his chairmanship, of course, Gadak Patil sir was a minister, and we worked hard. And it is surprising to see the regional inequality and the regional imbalance is clear. So I have put a question, have we fulfilled the 5-year plan now? Or if not, we are creating a regional inequality in providing the infrastructure, okay? Then, if you ask this kind of if you approve this kind of a cabinet note, further we are pushing the regional inequality of providing a public infrastructure and so on and so forth, then that is the point which has gone to the cabinet. And of course, his cabinet proposal was nullified, then it was taken up, and a lot of money was pushed through SDP program, through Ranjan Power, the suggestion that each taluk, that is what my suggestion, what is the priority? Taluk A has a different priority. Taluk B is a different priority. Till that time the government was doing, so much of money is pushed equivalently to all the taluk. But it is not that. According to the priority, you push the money, otherwise you can't see the outcome. Here your research methodology. Just look at the simple problem. The simple problem, as a social scientist, you have to look at it from this angle. Even you don't have to do a lot of econometric modeling in such a way that we teach 3 schools of thought, cross-section data modeling, and time series data modeling, and panel data modeling and longitudinal. But I'm not coming to econometrics because I'm being a vice president of Econometrics Society of India. When I start econometrics, of course, it will take another long time, but anyhow, I'll touch upon that because how it is important. And this is what most of our teachers in the schools and the colleges, when they teach statistics, when they teach research methodology, in such a way that whatever the knowledge you acquired, it should be useful to the society. So how it should be useful to the society in the sense that probably you are a college teacher, you are getting a project from ICSL, for example, then you are doing a good work. And the way in which you have done the work, some kind of sparkling results will come. It will attract most of the faculty whom they've done in many colleges. I used to motivate them, please send your suggestion. I used to acknowledge, I used to call them. So the way in which that your quality improve, and later on you get a motivation further to work, and also you make your students also involved in more research and the evidence-based policy making. That's how the faculty development is. It is within you. Each and everybody has an innate ability. I don't call any student, I'm a human capital economist. I never call any of my students as a fool or idiot. Everybody has an innate ability. You have to tap that innate ability so that many of the Oriya students, it's from the rural background, is not able to talk in English. They used to work with me, near about 26 PhD gone from my hand. And most of my students, almost I can say very proudly that 8 of my students are in IIT. And 7 of my students are in IIM. One is in World Bank, one is in UNICEF, one is in ILO, one is in UNDP. Another fellow recently is an Indian PhD gone as an assistant professor at University of Florida. Normally, US PhD, but on US PhD, immediate on appointment. It doesn't matter. Our own PhD gone, our Indian PhD gone as assistant professor to University of Florida. So how to make your students more quality and how to make your students to be interested. For example, now I come to simple research methodology. It's very interesting. So any research methodology, when you look at, these people must have talked to you, sampling, blah, blah, many things they must have taught. But the thing is that, always keep it in mind. When you get into this data analysis, because now data analytics is very important. You know that the Infosys, Narayana Murthy, Asim Premji, Wipro, they're all coming to social science now. Because they call it as data analytics, business intelligence. Nothing but econometrics. The old wine in a new bottle. It is nothing but you economics teacher, you social science teacher who teaches statistics, same thing. Sir, Banda, he is the managing director of Tech Mahindra. And Janathan, sir, regression predict. This we have been teaching 30 years, don't worry. And you people are telling now, every Infosys and everything, new data analytics illandre japilla. Business intelligence gottillandre japilla. So they also turn into evidence-based policy making. So we should be proud of, they have to learn from social science now. So this is what most of us don't know. Recently, the International Panel for Climate Change. Cyber go to the International Panel for Climate Change is the big one. Yalla full scientist. But Nicholas Stern, of course, I have written some part in the Nicholas and Stern report. There is a very famous report of climate change in the world. Myself and Joyশ্রী has written. So that time, the IPCC felt all the scientists, ಏನೇನೋ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ 2% ಹೀಟ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ 3% ಗ್ಲೇಸಿಯರ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮೆಲ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಏನೇನೋ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಸೈಂಟಿಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ವ್ಯೂ. ಓಕೆ, ಫೈನ್, science is science. What I'm saying is that there should be interaction between the physical science and the social science. For example, agriculture production ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾನೆ. ನಾವು ಎಕಾನಮಿಸ್ಟು, ಇವರು ಯಾರು ಅಗ್ರಿಕಲ್ಚರ್ ಸೈಂಟಿಸ್ಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. But there is a rich possibility of collaborating with the agronomics and the GIS. And ನೀವು R&D, Infosys R&D, everybody, they find the R&D. Mahindra and Mahindra find some R&D. Even Ambani finds some R&D, whatever. But we, the social scientists, has an important role, unless that scientist knows the cost and benefit analysis of that R&D and the distributional impact on the society of that R&D, Prayojanilla. You have the role. Okay, you the social scientists have a role in this. That's what saying IPCC recognize that how to make a policy strategy for the adaptation and mitigation policy when you have a climate change problem. So climate change problem, adaptation and mitigation, sociologist Nayak ಹೇಳ್ದಾರಂದ್ರೆ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಹತ್ರ ಮಾತಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸೈಂಟಿಸ್ಟ್ ಹೋಗಿ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಹತ್ರ ಮಾತಾಡಲ್ಲ. Only social scientists mix with the people. And you know the behavioral, I don't want to call it as a social science. The social science is a behavioral science. So most of us does not know it's a social science. It is a behavioral social science, I call it as. You know the behavior of the, what I call the society, and the different society. There is a SC, there is a ST, there is a OBC, there is a different religion. You have a heterogeneous people, and the social scientists gather information from the heterogeneous population, and they want to do a great analysis. What could be the one size with none such fit agala.